Hi everybody, this is David with Cartoon Fortress. Really happy to be back with you today for another unboxing video. Sometimes on this channel I cover releases that strike a particularly nostalgic chord with me, and this is probably the most perfect example of that. This is a film from 1989 that stars Fred Savage. Of course, his fame came from the television show The Wonder Years, which ran for several years and is one of my personal favorite TV shows of all time. And there's also a great supporting cast, including Beau Bridges and Christian Slater, as well as Jenny Lewis and trying to remember the name of the kid, Luke Edwards. And this is from, again, 1989. This is the Shout Select release of The Wizard. So aside from being just a really nostalgic kind of movie, I don't feel like this movie gets its due in terms of credit for being a kind of a deep look into family relationships and divorce and kind of domestic matters, family matters. And what's more focused on is the fact that this is kind of what's been called an advertisement for Nintendo, just kind of an hour and a half long, commercial for Nintendo, which I think there's one side of it that, yeah, sure, there's coverage of Nintendo and kind of all things Nintendo, and that's really the fun part. And it's also a road movie, again, mixed with kind of a family drama. It was this movie actually that introduced the first images and kind of gameplay images of Super Mario Bros. 3 to the general public, so that's one thing that it's known for. But all of these elements, the cast, the story, the kind of video game backdrop, they all work really well together to bring a really fun movie. I have recommended this movie to many people. And it's one that I've enjoyed many times. So I'm really excited that Shout Select picked up this title, and finally we have an edition that is worthy of the movie in my opinion. And there's a lot actually to unpack here in terms of what we get with this release. So let's go ahead and jump over to the other camera and get this unboxed. Okay, so here is the Blu-ray. So as you can see on here, we get this amazing cover art on the slipcover, this kind of 8-bit styling that they've chosen to go with. Again, if you haven't seen the movie, Nintendo does play a big role kind of in the story, and kind of the overall kind of plot points and stuff are based around these two brothers. So these two brothers go on basically a road trip, and then they run into this girl, and they all kind of form a team, and they're on their way to the Nintendo Championship, kind of a video game competition. But that's just one aspect of the plot, and there's a lot more that they kind of a lot of trouble they get into, and a lot of elements of family drama that are all explored. And so yeah, it's a lot more than just kind of a video game movie, but that's definitely one of the main themes, and I love that they chose to go with this 8-bit themed artwork. That's really fun. So let's go ahead and actually open this up. One thing I really hate is how the Shout and Scream Factory and these releases come with the slipcover shrink wrapped, because it's basically, I don't want to say impossible, but it's highly likely that you'll receive a slipcover that's not in tip-top shape. And on top of that, inside the slipcover you have a Blu-ray that's shrink wrapped also. So I kind of wish they would not do that, but yeah, as you can see here, I've got a whoops ding on the front cover there, and then some of the sides are kind of dinged in. So if you're a kind of a slipcover perfectionist like I am, this might bug you a little bit, but anyways, so there's the front cover again. Here's the spine, so you get this cool kind of lime green color on the spine there. Same on the other side. And this is spine number 102. So they've, and that's just for the Shout Select line. So they have over 100 spine numbers now in that collection. So again, on the inside here, we have the standard Amaray Blu-ray case. All right, and then let's jump to the back here. So if you've never seen this movie, you can go ahead and, or even if you have, you can go ahead and read the synopsis here, and then let's take a look at the features here. Like I said, there's a lot to unpack here in terms of what they're offering. So first and foremost, I want to point out how awesome this is. They've done a 4K, or they have a 4K transfer in place here. I never thought we'd see a 4K transfer of The Wizard, but that's what's happening. Is these labels like Shout Select, like Arrow Video, like Criterion, and a lot of the great labels out of the UK, like Second Sight and Eureka and Indicator, and all of these labels, they're going really deep into the libraries of films for all these different studios and whatnot. So we're seeing restoration work done on titles now that we never thought we'd see. So this is no exception. So we get a 4K transfer here, which is just wonderful. We also get an audio commentary with director Todd Holland, never before released deleted scenes, which I'm really excited to take a look at. And then that's just on disc 1. Then on disc 2, we get The Road to California, a look back at The Wizard, including brand new interviews with Todd Holland, actors Fred Savage and Luke Edwards, writer-producer David Chisholm, producer Ken Topolsky, and more. How Can I Help You? Confessions of a Gameplay Counselor, a clinical analysis of The Wizard, post-screening Q&A from Let's Play Gaming Expo 2019 with Luke Edwards, David Chisholm, and Ken Topolsky, and finally a photo gallery. So a lot to get into there. And this does carry a PG rating. This is definitely something that you can enjoy with the family, and the runtime on this comes in at about 100 minutes. So let's go ahead and open up and see what we get inside. So we do get, again, the 2-disc set here. And then we get reversible art, which is really, really great. In fact, I am going to flip the arts, which I always do, because the slipcover, you get the new art, and then on the inside, the art that I'll show you here on the other side is the artwork that I'm used to for this release, or for this movie. So we have disc 1 here, and we get different artwork on each of the discs. And then disc 2. So here's the artwork. So that's the art that I'm used to for this movie. So there's disc 2. So you get kind of this green hue over the discs. And then again, different artwork there, which is awesome. And then, yeah, I think you'll see why I like this artwork so much. So this is really cool art. So I do have to say the artwork does look a little bit on the dark side. And a little bit, well, it should be alright. It looks a little dark, like the printing that they did on it could have been a little bit lighter, but that's just a little gripe on my part. But we have some iconic kind of video game imagery here, and then the main cast kind of on the road in the desert. So this really speaks to the movie, and I think really captures it well. So that is the presentation here, and then of course we have our slip cover, and hopefully you get a good condition slip cover if you do order this title. But definitely let me know down in the comments if this is a movie that you've seen and that you enjoy like I do. Let me know if this is an edition that you're going to be picking up. I think I know we'll never see an edition of this movie that presents it this nicely, and I can't wait to actually look at the transfer. But yeah, I mean, this is the edition to get if you're a fan of this movie, if you're on the fence about watching or getting it, and you're into 80s movies or video games, or this is a really safe buy. It's really classic. Definitely some cheesy moments, some really heartfelt moments. It really delivers on a lot of levels for me personally. I think it's a perfect movie in the kind of 80s movie vibe, or kind of that category of movies. So anyways, I could ramble on forever about it, but yeah, definitely leave me a comment. And if you found this video helpful in any way, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell icon so that you are notified when I do upload new content, which I try and do a couple times a week or so is what it averages out to. But yeah, I'd love to have you on board and leaving comments and continuing the conversation down there. So until next time, this is David with Cartoon Fortress, and I hope you have a really awesome day.